Hi everyone, it is currently the 20th of February 2014. Meteorologist Robert Spetty here with you. And today the main topic of conversation really is in the bottom right of your screen here. You can see that big robust area of convection. This is Invest 93W, possibly a tropical depression here going through the next several days. But before I get into that, I do want to touch in on what else has been going on out here towards the north. I know earlier on this week we were talking about the risk of snowfall across the Pacific coast of Japan and the heavy rain showers for the southern Japanese islands and those of you in Okinawa as well. Well, you are seeing that today in our storm system continuing to push off here towards the east. You can see that low pressure area just towards the south of mainland Japan. Here's the current radar, at least right around noontime, Japan Standard Time here on your Thursday. Still some showers lingering in Okinawa, coastal flurries, but the good news is the Kanto area is going to miss out on the snowfall. And I say good news because you're still recovering out here following just absolutely devastating amount of snow in some of the higher elevations on Friday. And what I mean by devastating is that there was over 16 deaths, excuse me, and there are still people here nearly 1 week later, who are trapped in some of these rural communities. So the good news is looks like sunny skies are going to be staying in place. So that's just a quick mention of what is going on there. As far as the forecast for Tokyo, take a look at that. Sunny skies, partly cloudy skies. Highs getting up to around 9. It is chilly. Where it is not chilly, though, is in the south, in the tropics, where we are seeing warm weather in place across parts of Micronesia, the Philippines, Guam, and sea surface temperatures are reflecting that as well, and that puts support in for the possibility of tropical development. What I can tell you right now, though, is this area is a pretty weak area, and if we go back to that map from JMA, and the whole reason why I pulled it up is it does show a low there just towards the south. In the 48-hour forecast, they have this slowly drifting off towards the north, and that's the key thing to keep in mind with this, is that it is slowly drifting north. This is the overall background flow, by the way. And as you can see, there is a little steering flow. You have to get some of these lines together and pointing in kind of one direction to be fairly confident of the long-range forecast using this particular product, and it's all over the place. We have a high-pressure ridge, and that's going to stop it, though. That's the key thing to keep in mind. This area right in here in the dark blue, our low right here is going to drift north, run into that, and that kind of acts just as a dam on a river, and any tropical systems wanting to move north, it's not going to be able to push through this until we get a little dip, and that starts to pull it north. Just on the right side of your screen, though, you can see the earth.nullschool.net product here, and one thing I do want to keep in mind is that we have the northeasterlies coming in across much of Guam and Micronesia here, the Marianas, that is. And what we have been seeing, though, is the National Weather Service has put out high surf advisories in place due to those northeasterly winds interacting with the low farther towards the south. That's the only warnings in place at this time. Don't be surprised if heavy rain warnings get put in place in a few days. And I'm saying that because as our system does start to drift off there towards the north, it is going to bring some heavy rain showers going out here towards your Friday and the Saturday, really. That's from the NavGem model, and we can compare it up with the GFS. It pulls it off there towards the north. But that is what's going to be happening with Guam. I expect this to be very weak in that area going through the weekend, but the problem is it is going to be persistent. So really, if you have vacation plans this coming weekend across the Mariana Islands, just be careful. It may be soured by some persistent heavy rain showers. But I know you're not tuning in for that. If you are tuning in from the Philippines, you're tuning in to see what's going to be happening through the extended range beyond this week and into next week. And what I can say to you is with more confidence, this could drift farther towards the west. Is it going to impact the Philippines? Maybe. Is it going to enter the Philippine area of responsibility? I think that is a more likely of a chance, and we very well could get a named storm system out of this. By named storm system, I mean a tropical storm or even a tropical depression on the Philippine scale, but maybe a tropical storm. Now, right now, JTWC does say a low chance of development in the next 24 hours, so they have it on the low end of the scale. Here is what the whole model outlook, though, does show, and like I said, it's going to stall out south of Guam and drift towards the west. See here in the red, though? That is the GFS model, and I'm going to start with that one just to show you what this is showing. Then I'll show you the other models in the extended long range just to compare it up, because that one in the red is being the most aggressive. And here it is using the Wonderground or the Wonder Map platform, and there's our low pressure center here, and this is on Tuesday, the 25th of February. So still pretty weak, still south of Guam, still being buffeted by that wall off towards the north. Big thing at this time across the eastern Philippines is the northeast monsoon. You're going to be looking at some gusty winds and, well, much cooler air, but let's continue to scroll ahead. This is going ahead into, well, Wednesday, or excuse me, this is still on Tuesday, Wednesday morning, and then we'll continue to scroll ahead into, well, let's see where this time is right now, about 174 hours out, so on to the 26th of February, and look at that, it's really just well developed just north of Palau, and by this time, next Wednesday, we could be looking at a named tropical system on the JMA scale. Look at that, continuing to move farther towards the west. I believe it's going to be Caloy, is it? If it does develop here, entering the PAR as a tropical depression, that's what the name of this would be. And then it will continue to move west furthermore, and then you can see that in extremely long range. This is on Monday, the 3rd of March. Now, the key thing to keep in mind, though, is that this is just not one phantom run from a phantom storm. This has been numerous model runs that have been put in place out here from the GFS back to back to back, and really that is what we have been seeing. And when you see that happen over and over again, the multiple model runs, and actually this is weathercaster Lexter just made this graphic yesterday, and this just shows you those back to back runs and what it has displayed over the past 3 days. It's been chaotic, but it's been persistent. Some of the runs want to pull this north, some of the runs want to keep it west. The key thing is, the difference is some of the runs pick up on a trough that picks this off and pulls this towards the north, and the other ones keep that ridge in place. So that is why yesterday actually created this graphic here. I'll go ahead and show you that really displayed what is happening out here as far as the overall track, and we have a absolutely massive, huge cone of air on this. I'm going to pull it up really quick as I scroll down and try to pull this graphic up. There it is in the bottom left here. I should have pulled this up ahead of time. Remember, we're doing this currently live. And right there, absolutely huge cone of air, but it really depends on where that ridge of high pressure is going to be in place, and if this does get picked up by a trough. If I had to put bets in, I do think this is going to move west towards the eastern parts of the western parts of the Philippine Sea, and may linger near Luzon. It could impact, but it should pull north before it comes on shore. That is a bet, and still like 2 weeks out, so I'll probably put my foot in my mouth on that one. That is all for right now, though, everybody. Thanks again for watching here. Oh, yeah, I want to show you the other model outlooks. I spent a lot of time trying to pull up that one graphic. This is the nav gem in the extended long range, and just showing you this one as it continues to go through and pulls off there towards the west. And they keep it much weaker, but it does track on that westerly progression south of Guam and then continues to stroll off there. And then with the ECMWF model, they keep it much weaker, but actually have it impacting around southern Visayas and the Mindanao area. As we go ahead, see the low right there come on screen, then it comes on shore. Now this is out towards the 1st of March right there, but right around Palau, there's your low pressure center with the northeast monsoon towards the north. So model comparison would tell you this is probably going to impact the Philippines sometime at the end of the month into early March. And yeah, that would not be good news. Still recovering from Haiyan out here, and still looking for some fairer weather, and already had 2 systems here in 2014. A third one would not be welcome, but it looks more and more like it could be the case. Tomorrow's update, I'm going to dive straight into this long-range forecast by showing you some other stuff, but if you watched all the way through, please let me know. I appreciate the feedback, always appreciate all of that, and always appreciate to know that you watch this whole update. Thanks for watching, everybody, and stay safe out there. Bye.